We're live.
Oh, okay.
Do we look alike? That's my sister. That's my daughter, Gina. I remember your, so we'll start right here. Hey, this is Linda West, and this is Gina West, my daughter. And she's a broadcast captioner. And if you guys don't know what that is, when I'm so excited. When you see the captioning at the bottom of the TV shows, you know, the news, sports shows and stuff like that, you see all those words coming up. Hey, there's someone there. Who is it? Go ahead and say hi. See up there? You can see there's somebody there.
Oh, yeah.
But when you see the words coming up at the bottom of your screen, oh, and just so you know, the camera's right here. So when we're talking to them, we want to look there.
Okay.
At the bottom of the screen of the TV, somebody's doing that. Somebody's sitting at their home and they're making those words come up. Well, that's what Gina does. And it's really cool. I was in a school for 4.5 years trying to do this, and I couldn't do it. I got my speed up to 180 words a minute, which sounds fast, but that's not fast enough to be able to be a broadcast captioner. So this is what Gina does, and it's a skill that not a whole lot of people have, right? I mean, do you have any idea? I mean, I really putting her on the spot, but do you have any idea how many people or like what percentage of people have that skill? It's very low.
Well, I wouldn't say I could guess how many people have that skill, because maybe there's a lot of people that have the skill but haven't learned that they have that skill.
Good point.
But
point.
I don't think there's more than 500,000 in the world. I mean, yeah, 500,000 in the United States.
In the United States. That's still a lot, huh? But now, are you, from your mind, are you counting people who are like court reporters as well as the broadcast? So just the broadcast. Yeah. So there's that many people that you.
I hardly think there's that many, but I've met 10. So
not 10 million.
Yes, 10.
10 people.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. So that's I wanted to first we'll go back to like when you were in school. Because, you know, I had gone through court reporting school. You were in junior high school, I think, when I started it. I think so.
I was 7.
When I started school?
Yeah.
Oh, I was really
bad.
We
were in Dehesa, and I remember just you doing it.
So we lived on that little farm. We had those chickens, and we had our puppy, Jojo. And I was in court reporting school, and I was working for the sheriff's department. And then I'd come home, and I'd get on my machine, and I would practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. I practiced a lot. And for some reason, you decided, like, I want to do this. So when was that?
Well, I started typing very well with Mavis Beacon and the QWERTY keyboard when I was 10. And you had encouraged me to check out the school forever. And I was just like, you know,
forget it.
I want to be a music instructor or like a worker at Disneyland or something. You know, I don't want to do what you're doing. And then well,
I wasn't really doing it.
Right. Well, I don't want to take my mom's advice. God forbid, it could be good.
I might actually be good at that and make some money. I don't know.
Yeah, but I was delivering something. I was working at Kinko's as a courier, and I delivered something to the building that the Court Reporting Institute was in, and I decided to walk in and took the school.
I had no idea. That's funny. I just didn't know that.
Huh.
Yeah, so Court Reporting Institute, that's the school that I went to, and then you signed up for that school, and I had already been out of it for 10 years or more.
That was 2003.
2003. Okay. So yeah, and you graduated. What year did you graduate high school? 2001, 2002. So just a year after. Okay. So I had already been out of court reporting school for about 5 or 6 years by the time you came along and decided you're going to listen to your mom's advice. And hey, I guess I'll just walk in there.
There's a bug in your hair.
Take it out. Take it out. Ew.
Oh, okay, it's gone.
Don't kill it. Just take it out. Okay.
Whew. I was like, ugh.
I was wondering what you were looking at. Oh, there's something over there. There's a ghost or something. And so it's cool that you ended up doing that. And then so you went to school, you got student loans, and went into the school, and really fast you just moved along.
Yeah.
Quickly.
I was doing night school too, so I should have taken 4 years. Just gonna.
Right. That's right. Well, credit is due where credit, whatever the saying is. But yeah, that's true, because night school was 4 years and day school 2 years. But I was in day school and I did night school also, and 4.5 years and I still didn't get there. So the school is not really based on time. It's based on ability and skills. And you happen to have that skill. And there was only one person before you that I knew of that got through those speeds as quickly as you. Well, oh yeah, so two people. This woman, Deb Smalley, and then this other girl who was in school with me, and she just like every week she was passing through a great, a speed, and it was just really absolutely incredible. But so you started doing court reporting, or not court reporting, but you started doing CART, which is computer
assisted
real-time
translation,
something like that.
It always changes in my head. I can never keep the acronyms together, but it's captioning real time with somebody. Well, you don't have to. I used to think it was with somebody sitting next to you watching your screen, but that's not even the case. I think somebody's going to try to come through the barrier I built.
It's a dog.
Yeah, it's my dog.
And yeah, so you started doing that at one of the community colleges, and did that kind of work for quite a while, right?
10 years. I liked it.
Wow, 10 years.
Yeah.
So you got to go to the school and then sit with the student and then meet the students. Some of the students were hard of hearing. Were any deaf, or were they all hard of hearing? The ones that you had?
Well, a high level of deafness, but not there. She made it through the barrier. I mean, I don't know where the line is, but both. I would just say both.
Okay. And then did you have difficulty communicating with them, or? No,
a lot of times we didn't really communicate that much with one another. But almost every student I worked with had a full ability to read lips and or had a hearing aid and they they're highly functioning individuals. There's just certain levels of being in a lecture hall, the echoing, or other students talking, other little things that it's just harder to pick up if you have a diminished sense of hearing in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even for me, being in a big hall, like where it's a lot of echoey and stuff, sometimes I have a hard time understanding what they're saying. I might hear them, but I can't understand it because it's such a big room, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then for me, I don't have to listen. I mean, I'm not paying attention, so I can hear everything because I'm not trying to absorb any of the information. I'm just getting it into my head and out my fingers, so I hear it better because I don't have to pay attention. I don't have to remember.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think.
Yeah. So when you're doing your machine, which we're going to show you guys what the machine looks like. First of all, there's no letters on it, which is really cool. And then we're going to show you doing just a little bit of real-time captioning, just so you can see what it looks like. And she's really, really good at what she does. You have to admit that, right? I mean, your scores are really, really high whenever she tests for it, just because she has to test anytime she's going to work for a company. And what was your last score?
99%.
99%. So she's pretty accurate. And so you just finished doing 4-hour job. 2 2-hour jobs doing basketball games, right? Doing basketball. So what kind of things have you captioned before? I know you've done basketball. Have you done some political?
I've done a couple of, during the last year, I did a couple of presidential candidate speeches, and I captioned little things like when the Pope was speaking. I mean, when he was here in Philadelphia, yeah, but he wasn't. It was translated, so I wasn't translating.
Oh, Italian.
Is he speaking Italian?
Yeah.
Or Latin? No, Italian. Yeah. And so I was captioning. I was writing what the translator was saying, but hockey I've done. I mean, just recently I started doing a lot of higher profile sports.
Okay.
Teams.
Maybe you'll do the Super Bowl.
Oh, maybe. I don't know who does that. It's probably a bigger company than I've been able to wrangle.
Hi, Valerie. Say hi to Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
Oh, sorry. What'd you say? I wasn't listening to you.
No, it's okay.
Something about higher, but you never know. You never know, right?
Right.
You never know who's going to be watching this video that's going to say, we need someone to caption the Super Bowl,
well,
right?
I told my friend, hey, get me in with the Padres, because, just because they're local and
yeah,
cool to
no
say.
more Chargers.
Right.
Yeah, they're gone. So, yeah, I get in with the Padres. That would be really cool to be able to caption for them or some of the local news stations. And yeah, so I know so she's looking to kind of branch out and start her own captioning company. So if anybody knows anybody who's looking for captioners or captioning company to come in and do some captioning, like, you can do like shows and stuff where somebody's doing like a trade show, not trade show, but an event where they have speakers and stuff, but you could still be home and translating onto their screen, right? Or is it just better for you to be in person?
With that sort of thing, it's probably better in person.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot more to set up on their end.
If you're remote.
If I'm remote, yeah.
Okay. And I know just recently Facebook launched being able to do live closed captioning during the videos. Yeah. And so that's something we're looking into to find out how to do it, because first comes the how, right? So once we figure out the how, then she'll be able to do that, and of course we'll test it out first, and then people will be able to hire her to do the live broadcasting during their own Facebook Live shows, which is not a possibility. I mean, I'm not sure if it's out there. Is it out there? Do you know, or is it still kind of on the brink?
I'm not sure. Okay. I haven't done anything yet with it.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
Okay, so hey Valerie, if you have any questions, please go ahead and post them below. So so you made this little flower wall. So we're sitting in front of the flower wall. She made the flower wall. She's always been very I'm talking about you like you're not here. You've always been very creative and artistic. And I remember you used to get in trouble a lot when you were little, and I'd banish you to your room. And sometimes I would take away your toys, but you didn't really care because you would just draw. I should have taken away your drawing tools.
Well, that's what became Amy so good at what I do now. I'm able to isolate myself for hours and days at a time and not be upset.
Punishment's not always bad.
No, I practiced typing when I was in Ohio. I got grounded a lot also. I was practice typing and practice creative stuff, because you took away my Barbies, but it's like, I could make a cardboard house and play with it or something.
Yeah. You used to draw the Little Mermaid a lot, and you had your walls full of Little Mermaid drawings and
an upgrade
a life size
in high school.
Sailor Moon. Yep, that's right. So let's go back and show your machine and
my glasses off so we could see if we look the same. But
my head's bigger.
Yeah.
Is to hold my brain. Okay, let's go. So we're going to walk through, right now we're going to walk through how cute. This is your sweet daughter. We've all heard so many wonderful things about you. Oh, stop lying, Valerie.
You
Just
kidding.
kidding. No, I'm fine, because what we're going to do is I'm going to flip this around and, it got blurry, so let me flip it back. Because sometimes when you flip, it goes blurry. Let me flip it back. And so we're going to show, so this is, her setup. This is literally all the space she needs to do this kind of work. Oh, the IRS doesn't know that. Just kidding. Okay, so what I'm going to do is so this is the machine. And what is her first name? Oh, maybe I didn't say, did I introduce you?
Yeah.
Gina. Okay, her name is Gina. It's Gina West. And so this machine has all these weird keys on there. And one thing that's cool is show them the left two are the S key. So those are two different keys that she can hit one or both of them at the same time. And that's both of the letter S over there. And then where's your S over here? Is it the last one? She doesn't remember unless you're typing on it, huh? Yeah. So that's the letter S also. So how this key, and I'm going to explain it and then you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I was in school for 4.5 years, so I know how to use this thing. So what you have is this half of your keyboard is the first half of words or phrases, and then this is the last half. So she was going to use the word friends, for example. I don't know if you can show it because you're crooked there. She was going to use the word friends. This would be like the fre, and then this would be the ends over here.
Friend.
Friend,
there we go.
plural.
Friends, there we go.
Her fingers are all over the place. Where's your Z? Your S. Okay, I didn't see it.
Z.
Yeah, so her left hand is the word, is like fra. And then ends would be her right hand. Now, the thing that's really kind of crazy about friends, first of all, she's crooked, so it's kind of hard to, like, I can't hardly type when I'm sitting at a typewriter sideways, So
this is really sideways.
Yeah.
I could do it like this.
There we go.
That's all you do.
So what's really crazy about it is that the way I write the word friends, because I took a different steno school, or the steno language. By the time she came around to my school, it was different language. So they teach you different languages. So it's kind of like, as if you were, hey, why don't you can you plug it into your computer so they could see? Okay, so she was right there. She was actually not really typing, it's doing shorthand, but typing what I was saying. And right now she's going to hook up her machine to her software that actually does a translation for it. I don't know if I can zoom in. Is it going to come up right here? Where is it going to, or on the whole screen?
Oh, push it on. Right here.
On the whole screen? Okay.
Well, right here.
Over there, okay. So when she's doing captioning with one of the companies she's captioning for, the words are coming up on her screen for her to see, but they also get broadcasted live to the location she's broadcasting to. So, for example, she has to call in.
Here, I could do something else. Go ahead.
Okay, she has to call into the station in order for them to hook up the live streaming so she can hear what they're saying.
You don't have to. Okay.
Huh? I'm thinking while I say it. I'm not saying slow for you because I know you're fast. I have to make sure I know what I'm saying. So she has to call to the station, and her phone then connects to their system, and then she can hear what they're saying. So she plugs in earphones, headphones, or whatever. And as you see, she's also got it going up. This is just on words, so she has it going up on there as well. But she connects to the station. She hears what they're saying through a headset or earphone, and then she types it. She can't see the game, so it's not like she's watching the football game or watching the basketball game and doing it at the same time as that. She's actually just hearing everything they're saying. So you know how sometimes you'll see on the news, you'll see like the person's name will come up, like the broadcaster's name will come up, and it'll say John, and then it has what John is saying. Then it says Susan, and then it has what Susan is saying. Well, she has to actually designate who's saying what. You do that for the news, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay, I guess how lazy she is that day.
No.
Or something. No. Okay, so you see up here on the left-hand side, she has a Word document, and then up here on the right-hand side, you can see these are timestamps. So everything that's being that she's typing up over here on the left is coming up here on the right-hand side as well with the timestamp. So it's really cool. She's able to translate every single thing I'm saying, and I can talk faster because she's very, very fast at what she does. And what's really cool about this, and this is the part that I had the hardest time with, I know why I wasn't able to get through this, is that I wasn't able to just release my mind from the words that were being said. It was as if I had to actually translate in my head, literally, everything they were being said, and then put it out on my machine. Well, Gina, or anybody who does this kind of work, they're able to not really hear the story behind what's going on, and they're able to literally just have the words come out without even thinking about it. Is that correct?
Yeah. Except notice that you said, so I was thinking about it. I've been thinking about it the whole time, but see, I made a mistake right here. But that's not what I was going to point out. You said, from the words that were being said, everything they were being said. Yeah. So I actually translate in my head literally everything they were being said. You said that.
I did? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. Because when you said it, I was like, oh, I have to put that because I know it's not right. But so you said everything they were being said, and I was like, well, I know that's not right, but I'm going to put it because I have to.
Yeah, you said put it out on my machine. Oh, I must have said her machine. I said my machine? Okay, I must have said my machine. Yeah. Does it help grammatically, Or does she do all of that? Oh,
Okay.
like the quotes. So she has to actually put the quotes in there and see, right? You might not be able to see it very well because it's kind of hard to show here, but this red letter right there, that's the letter Q. So she did because you asked a question. So she put Q in there, and then she put the dashes here signifying that it's now going to the response that I did, or I am the broadcaster right now, for example. So she put the chevrons or whatever you call it in there, showing that I was now speaking or answering your question.
Give me 1 second.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah. If I had prepared for this, like I usually would, then I could put your speaker name in there.
Oh yeah. So you want to do that real quick.
Yeah.
So what she does before she goes and does a live, it really is amazing, Val. And it's not this right here. We've been told. I mean, I was in court reporting school 20 years ago, maybe even more than 20 years ago, and they told us at that time that court reporters or stenographers were going to be replaced. And here it is, more than 20 years later. You might be able, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it has my name there right now. See, so she actually just now added my name. So we were told that many years ago that court reporters were going to be replaced, that stenographers were going to be replaced. And I really don't see how they can be, because this tool is so important for people who are deaf or hard of hearing, because they need to be able to actually understand what's going on. And if you think about it, if there's a state of emergency, they have to know what's going on, right? So that's why it's very important, a very important tool for that reason. But also, I mean, why should they miss out on what's being said because they cannot hear? So that's the thing for me. It's like, that's why I really think it's so important. So you'll see then so go ahead and show my name again, like I'm speaking again. Okay, so she put my name up there again in the blue. And so when she's doing a broadcast and she has, sometimes there's 2 or 3 broadcasters, you've got the news desk, you've got the weather person, you've got this person, that person, or whatever. She puts their name up there when she knows ahead of time, because she's going live. She already knows who is going to be doing the broadcast. So she'll put their name in her dictionary, and she tells her dictionary, okay, yeah, oh, that's cool, yeah. She tells her dictionary, when I do these letters, you can see it there. See here how it's got, these are the letters that she's actually doing on her machine.
Okay, pause it so you could.
And then her machine translates that into English.
Wait, where did you?
Yeah, let's see, that's...
Right there?
Yeah, that's good.
She'll put, you might have to read it. I messed up.
I don't know if I can read your writing. She'll already
knows who's going to be, doing the broadcast.
Did I say
Yeah, you...
Darn, I'm trying not to.
That can be another tool for this. Just have people talk and I write it out word for word and show you how many times you say or I don't know, or people don't realize it.
Can you do a quick search for like how many times the word was said or something?
I mean, in Word.
Okay, so here you can't do that. But so it's really cool. I know I say so a lot. I do know that one. That's what I'm working on. Yeah. So there it is. And so what she's doing on her machine is being translated into words. If we're on a high profile case, okay, here's question.
Oh, okay.
Question. If you were on a high profile case, would that be more distracting or interesting? So it's harder for her to type her answers. You want to just tell us your answer?
Yeah. But, I don't know why I finished that thought. You weren't watching it.
Let me see, I gotta get you in the light here.
It's not, only if it was interesting.
So like say O.J. Simpson trial.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've never sat in a trial, so I've never watched a trial except in the movies, and you're watching them because it's interesting in the movies. I watched Judge Judy, but that's usually am laughing at it. Yeah. I sat in a courtroom and did the hours you do to work hours or whatever to learn how to do something.
Oh yeah. Work hours, yeah.
I guess, yeah. And I sat, and it was a child abuse case, and that kind of made me not want to do court reporting ever. So, not because I realized I didn't want to be sitting there all day listening to that or being in that atmosphere, and then also go home and have to, relive it by editing my notes or whatever and all that.
That's true, and that's a good point, huh? Because when you're doing broadcast captioning, once the job is done, you're done.
Yeah, and it's actually more if I'm angry. Like, if something makes me angry, I'm like, I can't write this. So.
Oh, okay. So you haven't had that kind of instance in the broadcast captioning?
Oh, I have, yeah.
Especially with the news, right?
I mentioned the political candidate speeches I did, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, arr.
Some of those, yeah.
I'll only do this party's stuff.
I try to avoid, but sometimes I just need the money, and I'm like, why did I take this show? I can't stand what they're saying, but it doesn't. It makes me do worse. It makes me not do as well because I am thinking about it, like, why am I doing this? But for the most part, I sat through some pretty boring stuff, and it's not really that interesting to me usually. I do a lot of sports and a lot of news, and since I'm not watching it, it's not really. I'm not engaged. I'm a visual.
So it's almost, would you say it's almost better if the job you're doing is not interesting?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of boring.
I'm not interested in sports at all.
But you do it well. What do you do with all those really crazy names? Oh my gosh, some of them have absolutely crazy names.
Hold on, let me start anew. Just a second.
Okay, so she's going to get set up here.
Yeah, because I was doing, this is actually going to get better for what you want to do. I didn't want...
Is this in your way? Okay, what?
No,
I'm showing your whole screen.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't want the company.
Oh, it's okay.
Here.
You can't see right now. There we go. You guys get to look at the wall. Here, I'll show me.
I know. Tell me what I can put on my wall. Oh. I need something on my wall. Okay,
oh yeah, here. Maybe Valerie. Valerie, she's got lots of cool stuff at her place. Okay, we got a totally white wall here. What can she put on there?
Anything. No, but I don't want just like a picture, because you look at people's houses and they have their walls are decorated with a picture or a something, and it's just like, wow, that's a really cool looking art piece, and then the rest of your wall is like, what are you trying to do here? I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really into art myself, but oh, look, I can see us in the mirror.
Sorry, my thing is.
Okay, so she's booting it up right now. Okay, so what you're going to show us now. So I asked you the question about the weird names, because in sports, there's really hard names to spell and stuff, huh? Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't show that while you're doing that.
You can talk to me.
We'll show you get.
Yeah. Well, my machine's deciding.
Oh, here we go.
Well, my machine's deciding to act up, so I'm cleaning
We'll see what's. Oops.
I'm cleaning it.
We'll see what's really going on here.
Well, the key, I think I eat too much on my keyboard. So I'm trying to turn it on, see it's off. There, it's on. It's getting on. There, it's on now. This key right here is stuck, and that's the on-off button.
Okay, so stop eating at your machine. Maybe.
Well, so what I'm listening for is, it's beeping at me. So
you're listening. Oh, okay.
I can already tell it's still not working.
Well,
I need to figure this out before
your next job. Yeah. What time is your next job?
4 hours.
Okay. She has really crazy hours too. Sometimes she'll be doing a job at 3 a.m. and she's trying not to do that as much anymore. But doing a job at 3 a.m. and then the next day the next morning she's doing a job at 6 a.m. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so she's trying to get that thing. I have to be quiet.
No.
Be very quiet.
I think I'm gonna have to like.
Because she's trying to hear it. I guess she's got to get her machine fixed. I mean, she's got to fix it. So anyway, okay, hold on. I gotta be quiet.
Wait, no. Okay, I think it should be fine. I just have to hear the beeping.
She has to be able to hear it, so I had to be quiet there. Is it good?
I don't know. We'll find out right now.
Okay, we're checking.
It's not beeping anymore, so that's good.
That's a good sign?
I want to see test over here. There we go. Okay.
Cool. Okay, cool.
All right, back to this.
Okay, hold on. Let me flip the screen again to your white wall. Okay.
So yeah, this happens every day. Little trials and tribulations all the time. This is nothing new. So we have this thing here called Auto Brief, this dictionary here that I use. Come on, Oh, it is beeping still. So you asked me, what do you do in the case of
weird names,
yeah,
like weird names.
So, you have to. Oh, no. Okay, it's working. You have to start talking again.
Okay. So right now she's going to show us what happens when a really weird name comes up, or
say one.
Schwarzenegger, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You already have that one? Okay, she already had that one. Okay, somebody give me a name, a really crazy name. How about Zimbabwe? Do you have that? That's a country. You might not have that.
One. So Z-B-W-E. Okay, let's see what happens. Z-I-M-B-A-B-W-E. So I spell it out. I finger spell it, and it comes up over here. This is the shorthand for that. So I typed out Z-I-M-B-A-B-W-E myself, and then the machine says, here's a good record.
Oh, it recommends something for
recommends this, and I could just type Zimbabwe with one hand. Well, now.
Okay, yeah, so here she is typing Zimbabwe. So the machine actually gives her recommendation of an easy way, which we call a brief. Because if you think about the word Zimbabwe, it's 3 syllables, Zimbabwe. And that could be almost 4 syllables. Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. And the machine, though, tells her, hey, here's an easy way to do it. So all she does on her machine is EUPLZ. Now I'm going to show you her fingers for EU, just show what it looks like. EUPLZ. So she does that. One stroke right there equals the word Zimbabwe.
All right.
See?
Yeah.
So it's called briefs, right?
Yeah.
Briefs. And let's see. Well, now we'll switch to both of us. Oh, wait, hold on. We live right next door to each other, and like that's
your house.
That's my house, and this is her house. She just moved back home after being gone years, and I'm glad to have her back home.
Pick a sports team. Oh, Padres. There we go.
I was gonna say I don't know any sports teams. Oh yeah, the Padres.
Padres.
Okay, so Padres. We're gonna find some really weird. They probably have some really weird spellings, really weird names there.
It's not really too important. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, maybe. Yeah, they're not weird. They're just I've seen worse, but yeah, they're different. Okay. So
okay,
like Ryan Buchter.
Okay, so hold on. Let me switch back to this because you're showing again. Oops. So this is like really a hands-on video, hands-on interview. Okay, so what you have here is this is the list of the Padres. For the Padres, we've got Ryan Buchter.
Right, and I don't have Ryan Buchter in my dictionary, and I learned that by typing. Oh, hold on, it's freezing because it's thinking. Okay, Ryan Buchter. So I don't have that. So I could add it to my dictionary. I'll add just Buchter because I have Ryan. Hold on. I don't know why I did this. Okay. So I add this to my dictionary, and then so now you go over here, it actually says here, hey, look, you typed Ryan Buchter multiple, because I have it after 2 times I do it. You did it multiple times. How about you just type that? And I go,
rar.
Oh, yeah. So I got Ryan Buchter. Yeah, some of them are funny. Some of them are cute.
Let's see here. It's a little blurry. Let me get back up. I need to back up and let my camera.
But so what I'll do is for example, for a sports program like this, what I'll do before is I'll go Ryan, Buchter, and then I'll spell it out. I don't know, it's like freaking out. Trevor Cahill, which I already have, but I'll go through it and I'll just type out all the people's names, finger spelling, like you would do with a QWERTY keyboard.
Okay.
Jhouis. I already did that one.
Brad Hand.
Dinelson. Some of them Dinelson.
Dinelson.
So as they're going through, I'm typing them. It's going through, and all the ones that I finger spell, it's giving me a shorthand for it.
Okay.
Right. So then I don't need any of these words. I only keep the ones that I like, the capital words, capital letters.
Okay.
I only keep the ones that I finger spell. Anyway, so then as the game goes through, I have them all in alphabetical order here. So whenever they say, whoever's name, I just look over here and look at that. I mean, my brain's, working really quickly. I'm just like, oh, this is Joe, right? SKWR. Those ones I have a problem with, but.
Wow. That's really cool. So you're able to, as they say the name, if you don't know the name or whatever, or you just remember that that's a player's name and you look over there really quick something?
Like the other day, this word came up, Skinny Atlas, and I was like, what is Skinny Atlas? What is that? So they were like, the news, the weather
Oh,
is Skinny Atlas. That's how it's pronounced.
Oh, it's a lake.
Yeah, and I was like, the weather, the lake Skinny Atlas, blah, 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 for 4th of July. And I was like, what is that? And so I went SK, and I did it faster. I wasn't talking to anybody. But
Like skinny. Like, I would do like SKI.
no, but I couldn't, because...
Well, how did you find out? You went to Google real quick?
Oh, yeah.
And looked it up?
Skinny Atlas, yeah.
So while you were doing the show, you went onto Google, found Skinny Atlas Lake, and then finger spelled it here and kept on going with the show.
Yeah, but I wasn't able to do it, like, the first time they said it. But throughout the yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
they don't have Skinny Atlas. I didn't put that in, which I should. I have different,
Skinny Atlas.
Anyway, it's a lot of confusing fun.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
But it is really, it's really interesting. And, you know, when you do it well, where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
I have to fix this.
When you do it well, you should keep doing it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But, I mean...
So now it's to the next step. And the next step is to...
Farming! Oh.
Is what? Farming? She's building a farm. She's growing a farm in her backyard.
I'd like to not do this anymore.
Oh, okay. So that's the next goal, is to not do this anymore.
I mean, it's been like since 2003, 2004.
Yeah?
I know people have done careers longer than that, but I'm getting just tired of not knowing when I'm going to work.
Yeah, that makes it a little more difficult.
I could work in the courthouse and know what I'm going to do every day, but I get paid less.
Oh, they get paid less. Well, and they have to go home and they have to do the transcription and then they got to turn it in and they got to proofread it and they got to... You don't have to do any of that.
You don't have to leave my house. Yeah.
Yeah, your job is done. It's done. So, okay. So, well, if anybody knows anything about farming, that's the next step. But as far as this, though, maybe we were talking about maybe starting our own firm, and so that, you know, we could get work together, and then she doesn't have to do all the work, and we hire other people to do the work, and we get the jobs, all right? So, like, that would be extra cool for both of us. Yeah. So if you know anybody who's looking for people who do broadcast captioning, you know, go ahead and let me know. I'd love to hear about it. And Gina, I think what you do is great. I mean, even though I know how to do it, I still don't know how to do it. Like, you're just fast and amazing. Thanks for sharing. So Valerie, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Do you have any parting words? Say something nice about me.
This was surprisingly enjoyable. I didn't know what to expect, and I wasn't sure what kind of questions you'd ask or something. You know, there was no prep whatsoever. For me, anyway.
No, not for me either, yeah. No, I like to just go on the fly. So a lot of fun, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks so much for doing what you do and doing what you do, and it's, you know, it is very important work, and so thank you guys. Hey, everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.